early pressure come out from V5 that led to their victory. I don't know if JDG are going to hate this. The fact that you come out with a stronger early skirmishing jungler that can set up for some of these ganks. For JDG, though, I think you go towards support here. They just lock in the Nautilus, and again, set yourself up for what could be maybe a more proactive, you know, top side of the map this time around.
Okay, we'll see, because at the very least, you know, seeing the Nautilus again, complimented it in game number 2 here for missing. They return and rinse and repeat for game number 3. We're looking at a bottom lane here for V5, and remember that V5 are the team that have had larger champion pools here. Even Photic and ppgod, you can say the same deal. With the misfortune getting locked in, it's been a very Photic style, right? Look towards the bottom side, the unexpected 2v2. This will be his 3rd game of the misfortune coming through as well.
And this is something that V5 have loved to pull out up against the Jinx. You have the range, you have the early skirmishing power. Your ultimate, the bullet time so good against the Jinx, kind of zoning her out of team fights. V5 taking away the Twisted Fate so far. Wouldn't be surprised to see them take away something like the Ryze as well. The thing I'm curious about for the side of JDG is in terms of if they want to look for, I'd say, maybe more like flank-oriented or side lane-oriented champions to come out and shut this misfortune down with flanks in team fights. Because the champion, sure, she has a strut, she has some movement speed, but no dashes, no mobility. If you can get either some kind of assassins or things like the Kennen, which 369 have loved, can make it quite hard for V5 to play around.
Even if we get something like the Jayce, right, we've got a Malphite ban here from JDG, while double mid lane ban targeted from V5. Aurelia on top of that too. And to me, Lyric, you always tell me, you're like, those are champions that a lot of people who want to play Jayce would ban.
Exactly. So V5 do it. JDG, I wonder if you just go towards the Scion once again. And mid is what I'm most curious to see, because the Ryze actually not being banned away this time. Again, it's something that Rookie doesn't really play all too much himself. Only 2 games to split the Victor off the board, the Ahri off the board, the Orianna off the board. A lot of champions that typically do look to answer out that champion. The only thing for Rookie that would jump to mind would be something like the Syndra, especially with how early game focused their composition is.
True.
If JDG don't want to opt towards the Ryze, I'm kind of curious to see what Yagao would want to bring out here. Ooh.
Yagao, not a player you'd think a lot of the time would pick up LeBlanc, right? He's not someone who screams at you like Rookie does.
But 2020 was still, right? That was his year. The big LeBlanc pick
True.
in 2020, able to come out forward. And Rookie proving us wrong. Again, it was a champion we've always known he's been able to play. But he's only played it 2 games this split, and against top esports in their last series, it felt like the fatal flaw was V5 weren't willing to pick it up and didn't really have any answers for it outside of the Victor.
I mean, even in the series, right, we've seen Ryze constantly banned by V5, this time making it all the way through to the end. To prove us wrong, as you just said, is an important part. Now, considering that V5, again, kind of rinse and repeating what we saw in game number 2 to an extent. I'll ask you more about that, because we saw the Twisted Fate, we saw it try and impact the side lanes. V5 got off the ground running with Rookie in a more supportive position.
Yeah, but so for V5, right, they have the Ryze to play towards sides. They have either side lane is really strong to set up for, and then in 5v5s you have the long-range damage able to come out. The thing that's more interesting to me is that JDG, I think, stuck with champions that more counter what V5 went for, rather than what you'd expect, again, like the Ryze. Because right before that, we were hitting on champions that can come off on flanks, champions that can come off on side lanes, and really put some pain onto this misfortune pick. Exactly what LeBlanc can do. Find your way in, burst her out. The Kennen as well, getting in there, making it hard for a champion who, again, wants to stand there, channel the bullet time. You pop the Slicing Maelstrom, you could just take her out. So JDG, I like some of the picks they come out with. In V5, we get to see a bit of a new look with the Ryze coming forward.
And a step back to JDG quickly. Also, you mentioned Yagao, you know, 2020, 2021 even. His LeBlanc as well has been quite exceptional in the past. This split, haven't thought of him as much as a LeBlanc player, but still comfort there, while topside as well. 369's Kennen, he's most played by far. No one else was playing Kennen.
15 games.
And let's add another one on top, right? 369 is someone who made it popular, at least wanted everyone else to see that he loved it. So we get a lot of comfort from JDG, nevertheless, as we return to Summoner's Rift. Now, game 2, if you missed out on, V5 slapped them with their wallets many times over. We saw V5 refurbished, recharged, re-energized, and as we welcome you to game number 3 with a topside invade, we're hoping we get the best out of both these teams again in our 3rd game of this BO5. Lyric, welcome in. A couple of electrocutes on the board as well, while we see the topside invade. It doesn't really go anywhere.
No, and kind of thinking about what we want to see from these teams in the early game, I expect JDG to want to play heavily around their top side with the amount of skirmishing and burst power they have, especially with the Volibear LeBlanc, right? Again, just going back to the stock and standard mid-jungle 2v2 that has tons of burst, has the lockdown available. The one thing scary for their top side 2v2 or 3v3, a bunch of magic damage early on, right? True. Double AP soul laners, I mean, the E coming out from Volibear, tons more magic damage as well, but still, it is where you are strong early. 4v5, with the fact that you probably want to dodge out on that, playing towards your misfortune, we've seen them pick this up time and time again, and it has early bursts. It has the ability to chunk things out early with the Make It Rain. Level 6 to bullet times there. So wouldn't be surprised if V5, especially at the level 6 mark, put a lot of emphasis down for Photic and ppgod with the amount of lockdown they have.
And again, you know, in game number 2, Rookie on the Twisted Fate, a lot of the time didn't even Destiny that much, but just walked to some of these side lanes and added the pressure on. But JDG had to pay that respect, so I like the similarities here, and I like as well that at the start of the day we're concerned because we knew that V5, compositionally, we talked a lot about them pigeonholing, about what they've done with some of these picks, like the Ryze not looked at in the top esports series. It was a big flaw. I like that V5 have adapted here as we see a nice little trade-off in the bottom side for missing. But further to the point, you know, adaptation needed, especially when this is do or die, this is elimination series.
Yeah, I mean, both teams now 1-1, so a bit of a different look than both their last series, right?
Yep.
Either team going 2-0 up in their respective series this time around. Going to be a lot more hotly contested. And, I mean, we've already hit on early game look for JDG. For Karsa, I expect a lot more slower of a first few levels. Maybe you can try and set up a gank on 369 if 369 isn't able to get a bit of vision down for himself. Kanavi, though, is up there right now, is path up towards the top side and has tempo on that play. Shouldn't be able to find Rich and look at V5's river vision. Top side, it actually is really good to spot out any potential plays that can come out from Kanavi.
Surprising amount of early wards, so good point up there as well. A Scuttle a couple of seconds from spawning out at 3:15. Just note that both junglers on the same side of the map as mentioned there before as well. And in our early games, we have seen Karsa be active in 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3 games, right? There was... well, we haven't had 3 lyric, but you know what I'm trying to say. Both games, it's early first blood from Karsa. It's Karsa setting himself up.
Yeah, and I like that JDG's going for this. Go for the invader on mid where Yagao's pressuring and make sure Karsa can't go up to top where 369 Wade is going into Rich. Take away some of these camps and don't allow Karsa to have those same opportunities. So a lot of things done here by JDG. Taking away camps, allowing Rookie to not move, and making it so Karsa can't go abuse 369's Kennen pushing into that top side.
You know what I love, though? That Karsa somehow still got the chicken. I think Kanavi spotted a little bit too early, so still up ahead, but getting in his face. The dive happens. That's an instant flash. Sky Splitter. Rich with the flash hammer down. What? How did he survive? Well, Yagao makes short work of it, getting first blood, but it's a trade. And it goes over to this Viego from Karsa's bottom side. Let the blood rain. Again, ppgod absorbing the damage. Hope running out of mana, but he needs a bit more range. ppgod's out in the nick of time, though, as we're making it rain against Missing and Hope. No mana available, really, for either side. A close call, stretch right under the turret. Center's plate doesn't connect. ppgod could have locked him down, but nevertheless, it looks like our teams are more hungry than ever.
Yeah, trading on all sides of the map so far. JDG do find that dive on top side. Do want to play around their win condition of the strong, you know, again, 2v2s, 3v3s that they do have in this matchup. They have a massive wave. They look for the dive. Sadly, not able to connect with the fact that Rich did have that flash away. Still, Yagao is able to make it here. Now Kanavi, in a bit of no man's land, does go down, but still, you denied the wave. Completely going over to Rich. Did have the TP, so didn't miss out on all of it, but at least did deny him a little bit as the Jayce pick, who typically does want to find yourself, you know, with a bit of a lead.
Yep, kill going over as well, over to Yagao worth mentioning, as well as the Karsa pickup in response. So on core members, we see that kill and that blood spread around. I want to point out that to the skies with mid-animation and flash, that was one of the jankiest things I've seen in a long time. So you learn something new every day. I think Rich's damage still registered as well for all those League fanatics. So as we go past the top side, Lyric, the summoner's burnt, right? We've got Rich now with none. Kanavi burning his own too. I think an important point, considering that summoners have been pretty key to a lot of our early skirmishes, considering that both teams fight all the damn time.
Yeah, and you could even see right now, I think V5 were wanting to angle up towards the top side. You saw Rookie kind of hovering towards the river. You see where Karsa is right now. They might still find it, but Yagao, a nice trade onto Rookie.
Look in the top side. Meanwhile, there's a control ward down. 369 doesn't know when Karsa's here. However, there's pings going down from the blue side. I see a caution ping. Maybe thinking, he can't really be there. 369 checks, finds him out, and Karsa now going to have to back away. He spent a lot of time up here, but he already has a CS lead. He's got first blood, or a kill, I should say. So it won't matter too much that he's set up a little tent.
I believe he did pick up some of the CS top as well before the TP was able to come through. And now V5 just making sure they're covering in around the mid lane, knowing that Yagao is going to have the pressure in this matchup with LeBlanc. So I think both teams...
Oh, comes through. Rich ran into this. Hammer backwards. The minions helping out. A pot doing the same thing, but for 369, he has him under his thumb. The shock blast as well. And the range about to come through. Shuriken doesn't connect, but he flashes on top. Rich trying to turn it, but it's 369 with a solo kill on the top side, while Rowarp in the bottom lane under the Dragon. Dragon's also taken by Photic, who picks up Karsa. I mean, this game is bloody bonkers, and I'm here for it.
And that is one of the ways that Realm Warp kind of lets you cheat the game. Right there on Dragon First, you think they can't come with numbers advantage. Rookie says, screw mid-wave, I don't care, gonna look for the play, gonna look for the kills. They're able to find it, and equalizing what had just happened on the top side of the map. V5 keeping it competitive.
That's one word for it. Keeping it fun as well. A 2 for 2 on the scoreboard. Photic picking up that kill, guys, and the first Dragon over to V5. I think also, importantly enough, Photic has a serrated Dirk here, and Hope and Missing paying the respect in the lane. But we'll talk more about the 2v2 later, because we go to the solo kill on the top side, which actually lasted quite a while.
Now we see Rich kind of aggressing forward, looking for these heavy trades, but 369 gonna hit 6 at the perfect time. Like I said, Rich, hammer forming in, and this is one of the times when the matchup starts to sway a little bit, right? Because Jayce hitting level 6, not really having an ultimate of yourself. 369 having that advantage in terms of the damage. Now left in a place where he can't escape. 369 just wanted to guarantee the kill right now. Flashes in.
Oh, no.
And for the second play, I mean, we already saw ppgod was hovering around mid lane.
We're getting another play here. 2v2 on the mid side, but Karsa behind Kanavi. Look at Yagao, has to flash away. He's not included. Sky Splitter as well, and a bit of spreading of whatever that magic is. Rookie has made short work of his counterpart, and V5 didn't even make it a fair 2v2.
No, ppgod coming in right now as well. They shouldn't be able to find anything. Yagao, of course, on LeBlanc should have some mobility. W should, be back up by this point. And V5 going to be able to take a plate and just walk away scot-free. Not sure how Yagao got chunked out so much, coming out from the replay that we were in. Doesn't feel like it should happen, but nice by V5 to capitalize, and Karsa still wanting to punish.
Yeah, he is. Kanavi almost caught out as well. Note that Karsa has the Heartbreaker now too, so that extra piece of confidence with the Sheen on top has come from the early kill lyric. That trade in the top side has just enabled Karsa ever so slightly.
Yeah, but I think now we got to turn our attentions down to bot right, because ppgod leaving opens up a window for JDG's bot side to punish. Kind of sucks here against Misfortune, who could keep throwing out to make it rain. You have the bullet time as well. If wave did get into turn, you felt like you were under threat of a dive. So not able to find anything off the window that ppgod just got for free.
Well, Missing might disagree for the time being, but it depends on how Kanavi gets in. Remember, the Photic with his ulti available choppers through, but ppgod's already flashed away. JDG's jungler getting deep, but there's no cans here to take into the response, and Herald's already been started, but 369 spots him out and deters it for now.
Yeah, I think ppgod must have expected for JDG to be on the opposite side of the map, looking towards his Herald, with Kanavi not being around bot side.
Here we go again. Make it rain, being pulled through, missing the full duration. He flashes away. Nice coordination here from ppgod and Photic. Ignite not available, otherwise that was a sure thing.
Of course, and now V5 going to be able to force in this way. Bot, Hope can have to play a little bit respectfully, is back to the top side. Neither team able to force for that Herald. 369 does have push, and 369 does have the Slicing Maelstrom, so I think V5 would have to be really cautious if they wanted to look for that one themselves. JDG, of course, having, again, just more AoE damage, more superior fighting tools at this point in time. They need to play more off of, like, the wave pushes from Rich, see if maybe Rookie can find a Realm Warp, find a pick, and then turn that into the objective for you to contest.
I mean, Rich needs a bit of attention nevertheless, right? Because look at the CS differential. Rich down, 369 in a great position with the Hextech Alternator. Kanavi even starting up the Herald, and we did talk a lot about V5 picking their options, right? They can go to either of the side lanes here. Well, JDG have definitely gone to their side lane up in the top side and paid a lot of attention there. As Herald starts here, Lyric, I'm curious because Rich in a very bad position. He stretch lined in, Stormbringer over the wall. Kanavi's committing. That man is king of the jungle for one big reason, is Rich is just getting bullied this game.
We were just hitting on how V5 wanted to be the one to look for the pick inside to transition that to the Herald.
Yep.
Rich opening himself up to an opportunity, and now JDG still trying to truck forward. Maybe Yagao can pop his head in with the W, maybe look for a bit of a chain, see if they can find a pick, but V5 aren't backing off.
No, they're not. Herald's going to be starting up even under vision. They don't really care. 369 has an ulti available as well. Even without the flash, that's scary. ppgod runs forward, Lyric. I'm wondering if V5 still want to fight with a numbers disadvantage.
Photic looks like he's about to have his bullet time back up. Okay. That would be a game changer.
And Rich has made his way back in as well. ppgod runs on in. Soulflare comes in late, but he sacrificed himself. There's the bullet time! And Missing has been rained upon. Somehow Trader stretch line stolen here. Karsa with a Heartbreaker on 369. Junglers are a different breed, man. And Karsa is showing up without a doubt. On to Kanavi, the other K here, about to get a face full of it as the damage from Karsa needs to be respected. Victory 5 well and truly alive.
They might have lost the Herald, but they are going to be able to get some gold on this top side with plates. Photic pushing in the mid lane. Dragon coming up soon as well. V5 having the map to themselves. And just nice response coming out to them, buying enough time for that bullet time to come through. And JDG with no answers.
I just don't understand how V5, you know, turn these plays. Rich having to run away, missing out of range of a dredge line. But I mean, we come down to it where V5 have marginal windows.
Rookie's being a little bit cheeky.
Maybe it's going to be right. Marginal windows definitely the call here as Rookie is not spotted out. Look at where Karsa is as well. Hope and Missing getting adapted on and sent back to the jungler. Hope now without anyone by his side. Karsa with his 3rd kill and Missing is now in the river without a prayer too. Kanavi backs off from that one and Lyric, our first seed, is pulling rabbits out of the hat one after the other.
And those are the kind of plays that I think made V5 such a scary team off split, is that they're willing to look for these surprise plays. Send no one to answer bot wave. Hey, 369's still not there. Maybe we lose something. We have TP on the Ryze just in case. Look for the play itself. Find the kills. Catch the enemy off guard. And V5 building themselves up. Once again, a really nice early gold lead.
Yeah, again, with the man at the center who's making it all happen. Karsa, 100% kill participation right now as well. V5's jungler off to an early start with a kill on the top side has made magic happen. Lyric, replay's all yours.
And for here, I'm surprised JDG didn't look for the play earlier, because by this time, the bullet time's already back up. That's all V5 we're looking for. Buy time for the bullet time, because then we know we can take these fights. And then Karsa getting the ultimate, getting to possess the Nautilus, sets up for the follow-up engage. And I mean, now V5 at full control again. I feel like the replay's cool, but JDG had to find the play before we got to the point where this started.
That's a good point, right? You know, for JDG, this game is starting to run out of control, so as we look here again, the sneaky little play, V5 get credibility for that, but coming back to your point, JDG in this game is kind of like the last game, Lyric, where I guess mistakes coming through. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think mistakes definitely coming through for JDG. I think they were a little bit hesitant. I think missed the initial cue we saw before the replay came in and wasn't able to find the all-in to set up. And we saw 369 getting zoned off from the flank that he was looking for.
Rookie's walked in front of some pretty deadly space. He's going to go golden in the nick of time, but Herald still plays down. Look at top side, his bullet time. He's hitting all of Hope. He cleanses to survive, but ppgod's there. Even on a route, Photic has a bit of bullets to rain down as Rookie's dealing with Kanavi. How is he still alive? Yagao doesn't have the damage, and here's Karsa again. The man with 100% kill participation trying to help out, but 369 is doing his work as Rich makes it even messier. I love the LPL when it gives you blunder after blunder, fun after fun, blood after blood, 369 after Rich. He survives. Missing almost goes to his death as well. 13 kills, Lyric, and we just don't stop.
And look at V5's bot lane. Woo! They were pushing it topside the whole time. So V5 losing out in mid, getting something in top. Like you're saying, it's all over the place. JDG committing so much, but they were able to get some kills for it. So overall, I'm not sure. V5 kind of over-aggressing for those picks. I think they're feeling really good because one thing we hit on about JDG was how heavily indexed into magic damage they are. And V5 having... Ooh, right.
He was close. He was so close. Rich still jumping on, but the shock blast not connecting means 369 walks away, this time with his life.
I mean, we already have the Hex Drinker coming out from Rich. We have Merc Treads coming out across the board, which is doing so much up against JDG's composition. We're going to see how it starts here. Herald play coming out, and Rookie feeling good, putting consistent damage off. He knows his jungler's coming through, and they feel really good about the 2v2, right? Again, having the resistance there. Karsa is massive at this point in time, already being on, I think, a mythic and another half of an item. But the fact that 369 gets here first feels like the key thing for the side of JDG, and they're hoping to turn it around, hoping to get Karsa reset, but overall, there's just over-aggression.
Hey, we're fighting again. What a big surprise. Rookie joined in with Realm Warp, and Karsa gets another reset, and it's on top of this Nautilus once again. The scariest part is Karsa having another hook, and we come back, Lyric. I'm looking on the scoreboard. It was Missing who just died there, but it feels like replays in this game are never going to be right.
You know, thinking about it, Greg, because I think Rookie's having a pretty solid game on this Ryze so far.
I agree.
But you know why maybe he's drifted away from it? Do you remember the game where, I think it was last year, he realm warped his team into certain death?
Oh, yeah.
That happened on IG. That happened.
Dude. I mean, maybe he's
been scarred ever since.
I'll be honest, you know, the Shy picked rapid fire cannon on a Kennen and then never pulled it out again. So moments like that stick with you. And I don't know if it's the team telling you something or the player learning from their own mistake. Speaking of which, it's a 1v1 on the bottom side. Slicing Maelstrom already used. A miss from 369, but Kanavi about to uneven the odds. Rich under turret, it gets turned off. He's slapped down, and it's all about 369. We talked about this, man. The anchor for JDG is coming up clutch in this game.
And he's the one, again, willing to look for the aggressive plays. It feels like that is why he's so pivotal to this roster because, I mean, you need somewhere pulling pressure, putting pressure, an area to play around on the map, and he really has been consistently the go-to for the side of JD Gaming. Rich was able to survive for a long time because of the Hex Drinker and the fact that, you know, having some sustain, now picking up the Eclipse, but the fact that Kanavi was able to get there first, not able to turn it into anything. Now for the side of V5, you have numbers towards his top side. You expect them to get some vision into enemy jungle, pick up this Rift Herald, and then Rookie can very easily pivot towards this mid lane to look to make a play with your bottom lane.
So all play comes down to the mid lane though, just while we're looking over ppgod and Photic. They're trying to push down that tier 1 and bridge open the map, but Karsa's still doing the Herald. They back up, unable to take it down. But as we take a bit of a chill pill for the time being, as we calm down, as we look at the mythics across the board, let's come back to what we talked about a little bit, because for V5, they've definitely started the game the way you wanted to see, right? You know, Rookie being able to move to sides. They've chosen the bottom side. Rich has been left on a bit of an island here. And I want you to walk me through a bit more of the mid game, considering that Gold's actually not that too far apart for JDG, which I think is admirable.
No, I mean, JDG been able to, you know, keep with it again, especially the plays coming off of 369 and Yagao, and it feels like they're going to have to be the big ones to step up. Having Yagao kind of play out through sides, look for cheeky places where the enemy doesn't have pockets of vision, distort over the wall, try and see if you can find a pick, especially on 2 Photic, because right now, feels like Rich or Karsa would be too hard to pick off. We know Rookie naturally going to be, you know, getting more tanky on this Ryze and harder to pick off as well, so really Photic is going to have to be the one you take down.
Well, Karsa is trying to get that core member from JDG. Now, Photic, I like that mention as well. We've got his items on the screen. 2-item misfortune here with tier 1 boots, and Photic very strong at the moment. I want to see how much that bullet time can do as Missing goes in for the engage. Karsa ulties out of there. Now on a bit of a cooldown, no resets available, and V5 have been mustered off at the Dragon for now.
They are going to drop Rift Herald though, so from JDG, if you don't answer this, you are just going to give up turrets. Probably would even get a second charge, but JDG hard committing to Dragon.
So now that they're back at 3k, I mean, Kanavi's in the pit. It's red line once again, but look at the angle here. Trying to go on the backside. Kanavi's hit. He's getting hit hard as well. The Dragon Smite won't help him. It's given over, and a reset too. It's Rumble time as well, as 369 turns it around. No! Lyric! Rookie almost did it again, but it's brought back as Hope trying to deal with him. But for now, JDG are outed, and V5 win it anyway.
Yeah, V5 completely taking over. Honestly, Hysterics, I'm a bit of a moron saying JDG looking to answer that Herald limit. They can't. They're trapped down towards the bottom side of the map. V5 using that one beautifully to force him on that Dragon. Now going to be able to answer and bot as well. Just getting so much off that play.
Dude, we haven't casted for 3 weeks, and coming back to this, trying to track this series is like going to, I'm going to make an American reference, go to Walmart and without asking or looking at the aisles at all, trying to find a very unique packet of chips from Australia. Lyric, replay time, walk me through it.
Again, so what we're going to see here, Herald already down. You force them to start this Dragon right away. You have the Leona to take damage, but I think the key thing is just the amount of damage coming out from Rich on the back end of the fight. Kanavi overcommitted as his team has to back off after a nice accelerated shock blast, and then the Realm Warp to be able to fall through. 369 takes quite a bit of members down, but Karsa, the Hex Drinker, and Mertreads, too tanky to be brought down. Rich not caught in it, and Rookie as well able to get out. Feels like the key thing.
I was getting flashbacks. Remember how you just talked about Rookie last time he played Ryze, the reason maybe he hasn't played it. Rookie realm warping his team into certain death. And we saw there, that was a Sliced Maelstrom disaster waiting to happen. Props to 369 once again, having a really good game here on JDG.
You know, I just wish I could remember what team was against, because remember we got a mic check of it, and Rookie just like, realm warps in and goes, oh, that was it. That was the mic check. As him and his teammates go to certain death. We see here, Maz now finished for Jayce and Viego. So again, indexing more into the fact that they know they don't have to worry about the Jinx. Hope not big at all yet. 0-2 so far, down about 30 CS. Photic definitely being a much bigger threat. And the fact that it's mid-game, the Misfortune going to be doing so much more. Rich coming online with the lethality as well. And Karsa just... I just don't know if they have the damage to deal with the members of E5. We saw 369 find as good of a slicing Maelstrom as you could ever find, and it just wasn't enough.
Well, you're going to have to hope here for Because for JDG, they've got limited windows now, Lyric, as well. A 4,000 gold down, victory 5 are making short work. Our first seed is doing something here in game number 3. It feels like this series is turned around as Dredgeline comes through in jungle. ppgod cares not. He's over a trap at the solar flare. Turn around even with Kanavi there. Realm Warp into the backline. He gets ppgod out. Rookie, a bit of a brother as he flashes after an Everfrost. Look at where 369 is, though. He's going to spot Rich. A 1v1 in the enemy jungle. Rich gets a bit of return damage, but JDG on the chase. And now it's about the turnaround from V5.
And Rich can keep putting out damage from far right if the members of JDG can't close the distance.
And missing now with the Dredgeline back on in. I'm not sure that's the play. Zenithblade gives him space, but 369 hitting. While the bullet time soaks up all the aggro. JDG getting low as Rookie's running in as well. A Dredgeline again. JDG getting resets. Hope getting speed. Slicing Maelstrom coming in clutch. You walked into their jungle on their turf, and JDG are not surprised.
And I just really didn't like the way V5 played that one after they initially kited out from the play. You can keep them at arm's length. You can throw out things like the Accelerate Shock Blast, chunk them down more, but you ran straight into them, give 369 the opportunity to find the play. And now for JDG, you get to turn towards mid, you get to answer waves in top, and you get the breathing room that before V5 were choking you out from having.
I just don't understand what's going on, Lyric, but I'm all about it. 26 kills, 22 minutes. A lot of questions for Victory 5. As the game is close to even again.
I mean, they're on soul points still, so I mean, it's still in their favor. But you're right; it's feeling a bit dicier.
It should feel a lot more done right with the plays we've seen recently, with how big Karsa is in this game. There's always a conversation at 369, and now as well. To be fair, Hope did quite a lot. Lyric, you're gonna have to break this down for me again because I'm finding it hard to keep up.
Yeah, we see JDG finding ppgod isolated because the other members of V5, of course, pushing in lane. And I think the best part here, the fact that 369 able to get in first with the TP, Yagao finding the chain forces them back. But at this point, this is where V5 should be feeling a bit of safety, right? Yeah. Because you have your Jayce on this side of the fight. He's going to be able to kite out from the Kennen. Again, back off, wait for some of these cooldowns to come back up, put out your Make It Range, put out your Accelerate Shock Blast, maybe try and pick off a member slowly, but V5 fully commit into the members of JDG, gives them the opportunity to turn this one around. And again, I want you to keep your eyes on the bullet time. It hits almost no one. It forces them out, but 369 here going to find a really nice opening once Missing finds the hook.
I'm waiting for it. Even though in the bottom left we've got a bit of action, it's so hard.
We don't even get to see it.
We return JDG in the river. Now the Soul Flare that's coming down, that's a reset. Wait. Resets aren't good. Flash away from Karsa. Everybody run. The Shock Blast has set up V5 once again. Rookie is a fridge once more as 369 takes down ppgod, but the fight ain't over. V5 running front to back, and it's reset after reset after reset. Realm Warp with a heartbreaker, and just as JDG moved back into the game, moved back into the series, Karsa returns to being an absolute god-tier jungler.
And now it's going to turn into Infernal Soul for the side of V5 unless Yagao can make a miracle happen. I like seeing damage numbers, but I'd much rather see if Karsa has his smite available.
I agree. Yagao in the back of the pit. A bit of health going to be taken with the friendly Woolworth lettuce. Now, Karsa no ulti, no flash, no smite. Yagao denying. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He'll go down, Lyric, but I tell you what, that is so worse.
Yeah, that is so tragic. I mean, V5, I don't know why you're trying to bring Rookie around on the flank anyway. You know he's going to jump in to look for the steal. I think you can play it a bit more slow, try and bait it out, keep Rookie in the pit. But no, opens up, no smite, he's able to find it.
20th replay, here we go.
Yep, let's go once again to see how this all starts off. Yagao, really nice pick again, playing with the fact that he can scale over terrain, jump over with that distortion, and pick off Photic. That was the target we were hitting on that he needs to find all along. But for V5, I feel like the big thing is Karsa needs to be a little bit unafraid to take damage with how big he is, especially with how much that the AP sources can't do. So he goes in first to start it off. V5 feeling good to follow it up. And at this point, I feel like it's just waiting on Karsa to find that time to jump in once again. Sure, 369, you just committed to slicing Maelstrom just for a Leona. Really feels like not the play, my dude. And then once more resets come out, Karsa just able to take over. Nice for Hope to answer back on the Jayce, but still,
Oh, we're back again. Yeah, Heartbreaker used, slicing Maelstrom, Karsa's response. But again, Lyric, you talked about the more. That has paid dividends in this game. 14-1-4. It's Karsa versus 369. And when 369 dies, Karsa owns the Rift.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if an engage can come out from JDG missing, playing aggressively forward.
Dredgeline into the wall. Missing, trying to get onto his target. Now, his target right now might be ppgod as another dredge line follows through to the solar flare and response. Teleport being committed by JDG. We're fighting once again. Stormbringer into the back line. Bullet time though. That is value. I've just gone to Tesco again. JDG running for the hills here as V5 have found another gorgeous fight in Lyric every single time. It's just skill check after skill check.
I mean, as Misfortune, that's your perfect situation. Missing CC already down, no Kennen. Kanavi already utilizing the ultimate. Who's going to lock you down and stop the bullet time? No one can. They're able to get another turret off of that one. And for JDG, when they numbers advantage start off, because Rich didn't have TP and to run across the play, I think V5 are so happy about that, making their way up to a 5K gold lead. 37 kills, 26 minutes.
And 14 of them are on Karsa. 14, 1, and 5 is a solo queue level of score.
That stance built now still has the stopwatch that's not been broken.
That's right. I mean, Karsa having a game of it. And to be fair, I think Karsa's been pretty big in this series overall, right? When we've come in talking about V5 versus JDG, we mentioned that it's all about Rookie. And Rookie has had a really solid performance, but Karsa is, like a backup support staff. He's always someone who is worth mentioning on the roster, when Karsa's performance versus top esports was what felt like it helped find the wins and also helped lose.
I mean, even in game one, right, I feel like it was a big thing of like, hey, you guys have the aggressive 2v2 setup, Karsa, like, why are you guys not looking more aggressively to punish this Victor? When it feels like things aren't together for Karsa, that things aren't really together for the rest of the roster either. But again, having a much better game 2 and game 3 so far. Now V5, I mean, you have numerous chances to secure this soul where, you know, JDG still long ways away. You're getting to a point now, again, mentioning the death stance, where you're just making it harder and harder to be bursted out as someone like Karsa on the Viego. You get more time for reset. Sure, though, 369, pretty big. Finally has a death cap as well as the void staff, so you are at least cutting through a lot of that magic resist and doing a ton of damage to the other members of V5. But Force of Nature, also built for Rookie, feels pretty huge. JDG going to be able to force out and play on this top side with Baron, but still, a minute 19 until Dragon. I feel like we're really looking at someone like Yagao to do what he did before, when he was able to find the distortion over the wall, get the chain onto Photic. But with Photic showing in lane, not really too many opportunities available.
I mean, again, if Photic goes down, if those, we saw up in the top side jungle before, bullet time not having as much effect, JDG ability to re-engage, JDG have windows. And this game has all been about windows, to be fair. It feels like we're in a glass house right now. Floor to ceiling windows. There is no door. Everything around us is melting outside. Yeah. I don't know how we got in the house.
I was going to say.
I don't know who built it.
I mean, I guess windows can open, right?
That is true. It's like a lighthouse, right? Everything outside, though, is dark, unfortunately. Inside is the light. Do you understand where I'm going?
No, I don't.
Okay. I was going to make dark reference about blood, but obviously we got to keep it somewhat PG here. Lyric, Baron, warding, get me out of this mess. Sometimes my analogies go right downhill, and I'm not sure how. We've got a topside turret.
But look at Rookie on the opposite side. Rookie's pushing the new base.
Red line flash away. That's a flash away from Rich that goes down this late in game. Important to note, Rookie still has the wave to push in. He's collapsing as well. Hope is by himself in the mid lane.
So what they're trying to do right now, JDG trying to force them to not do Dragon, to pull them up to Baron. For V5, won't even just call their bluff. Yeah,
okay.
have Rookie go down and help the Jayce with it. You have Realm Warp. You can make it back to try and stop them for the Baron.
And I mean, Yagao's on the wing, so it's about if he can steal it, but Dragon's already going to be going down. Infernal Soul, the fight starts with the bullet time. It's doing enough for 5 people. Rookie's Realm Warp them in as Lyric finds a nice spot and Karsa wants a bit more. Rookie jumping forward with the Slicing Maelstrom though. Their tools are down. He tried. 369 tried. And now it's the Karsa show. Kanavi has no hope as the better jungler always wins.
And now for V5, it's such an easy turn to be able to... Actually, they can't look for this Baron with Yagao here. I'm kind of scared for them. I thought it would be an easy turn, but Yagao's still full HP.
He's
taking
scary.
No damage in that fight.
I mean, Karsa's going to run away, so hang on. Lyric, does that mean it ain't over?
No, I mean, I still think V5 should be able to take him down if he jumps in right again. Look at Karsa. Karsa is huge. This LeBlanc can do nothing against this Viego. But you can at least be enough of an annoyance if they did go into the Baron to try and like poke them out, whittle them down, stop them from doing it. But They do back off. They do play more respectfully. You don't need to look for it. You already have the soul. You're already massive in terms of the items that you do have. So they do just back off, and we'll go straight into the replay. Because, again, I really like what V5 do here with the Ryze. JDG need to capitalize on the fact that they have numbers advantage in this small area. But with the bullet time zoning them off, they aren't able to find any kills. It gives time for the Realm Warp to come through. And now, I mean, right, V5 are just straight up stronger in these skirmishes. 369 tries to do his best with the Slicing Maelstrom, but it doesn't matter. With Infernal Soul now taken down, with the item advantages they already had, he gets bursted out. And then I like that Karsa going forward aggressively with the flashes, with the ultimate, knowing how much of a lead he has.
God, in Game 3 of the series, Game 3 of the Elimination Series, 44 kills at 31 minutes. This is what the international fans who don't always tune into the LPL imagine our region to always be like. Our bloodiest teams in V5 and JDG are living up to their names. In our top 4 here, one of them is going home. The loser of this series goes no further. The winner into the top 3 and into the lower bracket finals here. RNG and Top Esports watching as well, thinking that this is one of the teams that they'll have to first as Realm Warp comes through, and V5 with a lead here in this game and a blind Baron.
Yeah, I don't know if JDG can do anything about this, right? No vision available. They can't just run in. V5 too big at this point, so just going to push in their waves. Looks like maybe trying to answer with mid-turret, but V5, I feel like they're just so far ahead with the fact that they have that Infernal Soul.
Yeah.
It feels... So even if you find your way onto the back line, it's 369. Like, I mean, even Photic has them all at this point in time. Like, everyone building that magic resist. So we talked about at a draft that could be scary for their composition. Hope is finally at 3 items. We don't really have the tankiest front line to be able to absorb the damage coming from Victory 5.
Again, you know, those conversations we had. JDG, they don't have much available in terms of this game going on, right? We want to see it go on much further. And at this point now with the engage, V5 won't go any further with them as we see 369 in the bottom side of our map pushing a turret, but it's Baron in hand recalls. Inhibitor close to going down. V5 still keeping members around top.
This was the best that JDG could hope for, was avoiding the fights altogether and finding an inhibitor of your own to hope to force them to answer, to have pressure somewhere on the map, and he is TP.
Well, Rookie is sitting in the front for now. The teleport being burned, and you can see it's 369 who wants to rampage in. No flash available. V5 are already far enough away. JDG managed to defend their base, but an inhibitor still dropped. One on the other side. It is a trade, but...
I think it's so heartbreaking there for JDG that they couldn't find an engage.
That's right.
Because Rich, no TP. Could have just been a straight-up 4v5. Maybe V5 can still take it again with the fact that they have Soul. I feel like that is just so massive. But still, that was your best window. Gold, not massive at this point in time, right? I mean, we're getting so late into the game, it really is just coming down to the item differences across the board. But as we scan through, just to keep pointing out the MR, Force of Nature, now on the Viego as well. They're just making it harder and harder. Still, though, like, it's putting a lot of value to Hope when there isn't a lot of like armor stacking on the opposite side. You are nullifying the Kennen and the LeBlanc quite a bit. The only hard thing for Hope, again, as we said, like the front to back can be quite rough when you don't really have like the tankiest frontliner or the biggest members as compared to V5, where, I mean, Viego so tanky at this point, Rookie tanky as well, and ppgod seeing quite a few items, especially with that locket.
I mean, yeah, the locket doing work. I also want to point out that I keep calling it Edge of Ixtal, but it is a Vigilant Ward Stone, so... now at level 13 as well, remember the upgrades that come through, the 12% in all stats for ppgod plus a place to put his control wards. Very rarely that we see it, but again, the game's gone on long enough. We're at 34 minutes in. We have an Infernal Soul for V5.
Crazy that 34 minutes is like insanely long game time. But V5 going to use it to try and choke them out. Again, this is where V5 are so comfortable.
Yeah.
Looking to just find these picks in the enemy jungle. For JDG, I feel like you're at a point where you kind of have to try and avoid them, push out side lanes like we just saw Yagao doing. But with Elder Drake coming up in a minute, that's not really going to be possible much longer. They're
going to walk into their territory, and again, with the Jayce, how fun is it going to be for them with the misfortune as well from Photic?
One accelerated shock blast on the 369.
It hurts, right?
1/3 of his HP.
And even look at the damage from the E from Photic, missing off with the engaged depth charge into the back line. They want Photic, they want the 80 carry, but Kanavi trying to get to him, using everything to get there. Photic still stands as Yagao jumps in. Finally, they find him, but ppgod is finishing the job while the rest of V5 are getting scrappy. Hope with the resets, though. The 80 carry from JDG doesn't matter, no, because Karsa once again is on a mission.
And now for V5, they can just push forward. Doesn't matter if most of your team has died. You have the wave. You have the death timers. JDG are going to be a match point.
I mean, this is V5's game. This is V5's story. In no other split have they been in the top 4 of playoffs. In no other split has V5 been our best LPL team. We were worried against top esports, but here in the JDG series, as they move forward, as unfortunately it looks like here, Lyric, they won't be able to end the game. They are one step away from once again returning to the top of our list. Now, Missing's going to try here. Karsa's sticking around. Award, whereabouts is it? Okay, a little bit further back, but Rich is not away or available yet.
That was a moment where heroes could have been made. A moment where you're a 17-kill Viego with 1 Leona. You 2v5 the enemy squad, you win the game.
I was going to say, well, it might not be over because Karsa's got the boys with him now. Rookie and Rich. A bit of R&R for him to heal up because Elder's up available as well.
Yeah, for them. I mean, now trying to set up the pick, trying to bait them in. We find engage.
And we've got Kanavi running away for V5. Feels like a foregone conclusion, but teleport's coming through. Realm Warp on the side as well. It's Rookie here with Everfrost as well. Lyric, I'm getting Mandarin in my ears, and you know what that means? It means we're going to a Game 4 where V5 have cleaned everything up. And as I go to mute him here, Lyric, 369, getting the slicing mouse from in the backside, trying his heart out, but it ain't enough. 17, 1, and 12, and Victory 5's road to the top 3 getting closer.
And it was just a matter of time before they were forced out of their base. V5 find the setup. And like you said, match point.
Match point for the first seed of the LPL, returning to best team status. It sure feels like it here in the series. JDG giving them a bit of a run, but you have to admit, Victory 5 again have woken up.
I just love that we got to see like the 2 carries of the teams, the Viego and the Kennen on opposite sides again, going back to 369 and Karsa, the 2 members who were on the old top esports roster, played together for quite a while. And I mean, they were the pillars of their teams that had to step up. 369 found some good ultimates, found some good opportunities. We saw they were just so easy to itemize against for the side of E5. It really stood out to me in the play we saw just like a few minutes ago in bot lane when Rookie's diving the enemy turret, you know, using Everfrost, rooting enemies, taking turret damage, taking damage from everyone, and he's not going down at all. It's like, my God, it was just so easy for them to be able to itemize. Really great Realm Warps to come out from Rookie when, again, just speculation. I don't know if he was scared to pick the Ryze or they just find other valuable picks. He's only played it twice this split. Hasn't been banned against him. They just haven't liked to gravitate towards it. He made it work, and it was great to see from V5.
Again, it's been 2 really good games here from V5 with Rookie on support staff duty. Twisted Fate, Ryze. 2 games here where it hasn't been about Rookie. It's been about the rest of the map. And while Rich also absorbed pressure, Photic and ppgod thrived this game. And it's weird to say that Karsa was the carry, but Karsa was by far the carry of this game and a very big member as soon as he got those resets going.
Yeah, and it was nice to see because it did feel like some fights in the mid game, maybe he did play a bit too like trigger shy. Yeah. When he was the big member, he was again like so tanky, so unkillable, had the damage as well. But when we started to see him find that confidence, go in, reset after reset after reset, not able to take him down, and it was great. I do feel like JDG did kind of drop the ball a few times. We were talking about some of the earlier skirmishes where, I remember we got one replay that just showed the fight, but even the setup where JDG could have looked for the fight maybe more aggressively and won out. They weren't able to. And I mean, just the map tools, the Realm Warp, able to play around, kind of roam around with the Viego, just did so much for the side of V5. You have 3 aggressive champions, Misfortune, Ryze, and the Jayce. It just made it so easy to just keep pushing into enemy jungle and making it hard for JD Gaming.
And look, coming back to the core point when you're talking about Rookie and his champion pool and not the lack of, but what we talked about with V5 versus top esports in this series, in this game rather, you know, V5 once again shown they're versatile, that the champion pool extends as far as the ocean. The Misfortune pick going up against Jinx at the bottom side, like, Hope didn't really get to play that game despite him being able to scale up. That wasn't a game for Hope. That was all about Photic and how many bullet types he could get across, because Photic did a hell of a lot of work in the first 20-25 minutes of the game at least. I
mean, especially with the fact that V5 found the early lead, right? Because then we got to a point where V5 were playing skirmishes out in a pretty cool way where, again, Kennen, LeBlanc, you know these champions need to come into you, setting up kind of baiting with ppgod like we saw around the Baron when V5 were taking Dragon. You bait them in with a member like ppgod, suddenly bullet time onto 3, 4, 5 members, able to do so much. I feel like we saw that countless times.